Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan, drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. So overall, things are going pretty good. Had a more chill level 1 podcast, and then near the end of the podcast, a ginormous amount of memberships were gifted to the channel. Over 60. That skyrocketed us towards our membership goal for the month of 600 members. We went from low 500s to 592 members. Damn, that was awesome. Great positive movement. Almost there, locking in that Super Bowl Saturday marathon style event that I wanted to do. So then we started playing Signalis. And here's where some of the negatives come in. As I started to play Signalis, immediately attendance dwindled. Immediately people disengaged, stopped really interacting and talking with me. I felt like I was playing the game by myself for half the stream, which is not good. Literally, support stopped. 0. The only person who really supported the Signalis stream was the usual 1 Minute Man, who does a tip every major stream every day, no matter what I'm playing. I think outside of that, I got $2. Basically, people don't like this game. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little upsetting. You want to know why? Because I actually wanted to play Resident Evil 0. I'm just going to be real with all of you. That's what I was planning on playing until people suggested, hey, don't do 2 Resident Evils in a row. That's overload. Instead, do this other game, you know, that was an indie game that came out in the fall. That's survival horror, pretty good. Personally, I don't see any reason to hate Signalis. We'll talk about it because after today's gameplay, my opinion has changed a little bit about it. We'll talk about that in a second. Personally, I don't hate the game or whatever. But people ask me all the time, Phil, why don't you play more indie games? Signalis is the exact kind of reason why I don't play more indie games. I'm just being honest, okay? Despite the fact that there seemed to be a group of people who wanted to see it, now that I'm playing it, almost no one cares. Attendance dwindles, no engagement, no support. I might as well be sitting here and just talking with you guys doing Q&A. That does better. It really does, okay? However, I guarantee you, if I were playing Resident Evil 0, it would be different. Resident Evil 1 Remake that I just played did incredibly well. People showed up, engaged, supported. The views on YouTube were good. Everything was great. I hate to say it, but when I play these indie games, they just don't get traction. I'm not some giant streamer where no matter what I play, people will come in droves to check it out. I'm not. I wish I was. I wish that I was like back in the day. I remember playing games over 10 years ago, games like the Disgaea franchise and stuff like that a lot of people in America didn't even know what they were, and I gave them some attention by playing them on YouTube. That's not the case anymore, all right? And I hate to say it, I think when it comes to deciding between games to play, and we have an option to play a more mainstream game, I might just have to play the mainstream game. We'll talk about this tomorrow on the Level 1 podcast in the morning. I want to have a discussion with all you guys about it, because I hate to say it, you know, I feel like Signalis is a dud. Not that the game, but basically the attention it's getting and the fact that I feel like I'm kind of wasting my time playing it when people are completely disengaged and not really caring about it, okay? I can't believe that I actually had the slowest, outside of those gifted memberships that happened on the Level 1 podcast, which is completely separate from Signalis. Once I started playing Signalis, that by far was the slowest stream I've had in years. That was slower than like the Mass Effect stream that I did like a year and a half ago that had no support. It was that slow. I don't even know what to say. It was a good game. I was having a good time with it. I was frustrated by the end, and again, we'll talk about that in a second. But the fact that the stream kind of died the second I started playing the game is sad. People don't want to give indie games a chance. And that's not fair, I feel, because some of these indie games are great. I think Signalis actually is a survival horror game that should be given a chance. It's on Game Pass, but why people won't watch it on DSP Gaming, I don't understand. Anyway, so Signalis, let's talk about it. All right, today, with the 3-hour stream that I did, why did I do it as a 3-hour stream? Because we need to finish this game in time for the Dead Space remake coming out on Friday. I don't want to be playing 2 survival horror games at once. We basically finished up the whole area that's more traditionally like Resident Evil, meaning it's like living quarters, you know, parts of a building that are running with power and things, solving puzzles and the like. And after we got through that part, the game kind of went off the rails. We turned into almost more psychological horror. And next thing you know, I'm not shitting you, we're in Silent Hill. We're now in a part of the game that's like Silent Hill. There's cells, There's corrupted, deformed creatures that I can't even explain. There's pulsating flesh on the walls. It doesn't make any sense. The game hasn't explained it yet. Maybe it will. But obviously, this is not logically what was going on for the rest of the game. Something crazy is going on in Signalis. But my audience didn't care. I was interested in what was going on, but my audience didn't care. Now, at the same time, one thing that actually happened that's pissing me off, what they tried to do now, I don't know if they thought that it was going to be scary. It's not. They disabled the map. So up to this point, you know, I'm playing 5, 6, 7 hours into the game. The map is a critical part of the gameplay. You're able to map out where you are, tell where you are in relation to the other rooms. You can look at the map. Okay, plan out. I'm going to backtrack over here and here. This is a critical part of gameplay in Resident Evil, that you can plan out where you're going. Hell, even Silent Hill has maps that you plan out where you're going. They decided once you get to this area of the game, no map. Just done. No more map. So now I'm going in circles. I'm trying to figure stuff out. The puzzles are incredibly cryptic to the point where you don't know what's used where. You know, earlier in the game, it was like, oh, you found the eagle door. Well, now you know you need an eagle key. No, not anymore. Now I found 2 rings. I found a bunch of octagonal plates I don't know what to do with. I got all this shit in my inventory. I don't know what it is. And it's frustrating. Essentially what they tried to do is overcomplicate the end of the game, likely to ramp up the difficulty, but it doesn't make it more difficult. It makes it more annoying. It makes it frustrating for the gamer, and I feel they did a poor job with this particular segment of the game I'm in. Maybe that's why my viewers disengaged so much, but man, it's fucking frustrating. You know, going through a part of the game where I liked the game up to this point, and the moment this happened, no map, cryptic things going on, no idea, no clues, not even the names of the items make sense anymore. That's when you're like, okay, this went off the rails. What do you want me to do? Look up every piece of the game now? I don't want to do that. I enjoy kind of exploring it and figuring it out for myself, but even then, what is this going to be, a 40-hour playthrough because I can't figure it out? Obviously, there's a problem here, all right? Now, at this point, I'm about, 7, 8 hours into Signalis, okay? When I play it again on Tuesday as the main stream, I wonder if I'll beat it, because people were basically saying that the game's around 10 hours long, unless you take a little extra time to read everything, if you do more side content, if you get lost and die a bunch. I don't know. Right now, I am kind of getting lost and going in circles. I don't feel like I'm making constant progress. I'm trying to figure out what to do. So, I don't know if we're going to beat it on Tuesday or not. I honestly hope we would, because it's obvious from today's stream, my audience is completely disengaged from this game and doesn't really care about it. I'd rather do stuff you care about. So I would hope we beat it on Tuesday. I guess we're going to see. All right? But it was such a weird mix and a bittersweet stream, because like I said, on the pre-stream with the Level 1 podcast, we hit the members goal for the month, and everything was positive. And then the moment I started playing the actual game, nobody cared. It was like I was here by myself. That was sad, and I was actually pretty disappointed. All right? I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.